Well, in this universe that we live in, there's something known as the yin-yang. The opposite of what you just did and all the rest of that shit. The black, the opposite of that is white, blah, blah, blah. There is also another principle that for every action, there is a reaction. No matter what you do, something else is going to happen. And same thing happened to me. However, I seem to have worked it out. I did a video a while back where I made a strap for the one chair that I have, and it works out really well. As I'm going from point A to point B. However, when you go from point B to point A, that's a different thing. So we're going to do a video on that. Stick around, bitches. Show that never ends. A while back, I did a video on this strap. A strap that I came up with, which makes it so that when I transfer from my chair into my bed, which was a problem because of gravity, inertia, different pressures and everything else like that. And this made it so that when my chair is, when I'm transferring from my chair onto the bed, the chair doesn't fucking go anywhere. However, I ran into a situation I started to realize when I was transferring from the bed back into the chair that there was movement. Well, I had to rethink that. For every action, there is an opposite and equal reaction. I didn't really give that thought at the time. I thought I was good, but anyway, I'll show you how the whole strap chair thing works. This is an idea. I just came up with this. I actually just came up with this the last couple of days. And I'll be motherfucked if it doesn't work. This is a yoga block. Just a big foam block. Pretty dense, but soft enough to not really cause any problem. However, all it does is work. And here's what this little fucking thing does. Oh, you also notice that I was able to put an anchor into the block itself and then screw the strap to the block, and then in turn strap the block to the bed. Doesn't go anywhere and it's not in the way. Alright, I want you to notice the position of the break in the strap, where it actually lies. And then I want you to think about where that block is coming down onto. You have the strap, which as I have to bring the bed up, to make a proper transfer, has a tendency to pull up and off out of the little system. There's no stop on top. That's where the block comes in. You'll notice where the position of the brake is, the brake lever. And where that is, in the position as it pertains to where the bed is, it actually, when the bed goes up, it actually has a tendency to pull that lever up, disengaging the brake, making it fucking useless. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have mad skills. I still can pull this move off. However, I don't see any reason to make anything more difficult. My intent is to remove all fucking variables that put me in jeopardy. I had a situation last week where I ended up in a tenuous situation because both the brake fucking disengaged and the strap came unhooked. Not fucking cool, motherfucker. No fucking bueno. Get the fuck out of here. But as I position the block, just the block itself, when I'm bringing the bed up, is enough to hold that strap in that position. And the brake, because there's no tension on pushing it until I start moving, the movement is the problem. And it's just that little extra wiggle that has a tendency to fuck me. However, once I move over and I put my fat ass on top of it, I become the stop for that strap. I become the stop for the brake. And you know what happens? Nothing. Just exactly how I want. Where are you going? Fucking nowhere. That's where the fuck we're going. That's the solution. That's what you do. That's the ideas you have. And that's what you do. But it all depends on what your situation is and your application of whatever the fuck it is. You know what? You gotta be smarter than a piece of fucking fabric, man. What the fuck? Always going to run into problems. That is an absolute. That is fucking. You're going, or it's not an if, but more of a when. But it's going to happen. So you got to work on your analytical skills. You got to figure out what you have to do in order to solve your problems. I can't help you with that. I mean, I can. You want to talk about it, by all means, but ultimately, you have to figure that one out. Just figure it out, man. You don't have any options. Figure it out.